everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you. And as we enter 2023, we're going to take a look at the upcoming Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and analyse what will be the standout content and whether the phase will be an improvement on Phase 4. Now there may be spoilers throughout for all content within phases 1 to 4 of the MCU, so just beware when going into this overall video. You can also check out my overall review of Phase 4 and I'll leave some links within the description. So when we look at the outline of Phase 5, which was announced some time ago last year at the D23 presentation, overall it will consist of 6 movies and 7 Disney Plus shows from 2023 to 2024. When we look at all of the projects listed, they are as follows. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania will debut on February the 17th, 2023. The third installment of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will open on May the 5th, 2023. The Marvels will release on July the 28th, 2023, and Captain America New World Order will premiere on May the 3rd, 2024. Thunderbolts will premiere on July the 26th, 2024, and then the final film within the phase, as so far, will be Blade, which will look to debut sometime on September the 6th, 2024. Now in terms of the shows, we will have the second season of the animated What If series, alongside Secret Invasion. We will also have the second season of Loki, as well as the further story of Riri Williams in the Ironheart series, and we already saw the prominence of the character in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We will also get other series around the likes of Echo, a character that we saw appear in Hawkeye, Agatha: Coven of Chaos, which will continue the adventures of the character that we saw from WandaVision. And in terms of television series, probably the most hyped project will be Daredevil Born Again. This will see the return of Charlie Cox's character that was played so brilliantly in the Netflix series of the same character for 3 seasons. So when looking at this overall lineup, it definitely has potential to improve on Phase 4. In terms of the movies, the standouts for me are Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We already had the trailer released a couple of months ago, and it definitely looks like it's going to be the most largest scale of the Ant-Man movies, as we see Scott Lang alongside Hank Pym, Janet and Hope and Scott's daughter Cassie Lang transported to the quantum realm, where they will encounter Kang the Conqueror, and I'm sure it will have some ramifications going forward for the upcoming Avengers movies, Avengers the Kang Dynasty and also Avengers Secret Wars. Both of these films we won't see until Phase 6. And whilst Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has vibes of both the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Thor Ragnarok, it still looks like it will be one of the most interesting elements of the phase, and if promoted right, alongside being the first movie of the new phase itself, Quantumania will likely be the highest grossing Ant-Man movie for sure. Now in terms of the Disney Plus shows, I've got high hopes for Secret Invasion, which sees Nick Fury return, assumingly dealing with the ongoing threat of the Skrulls as they emerge further within the planet. Now I've spoken at length about the many issues with the Disney Plus shows so far, but Secret Invasion should be the most consistent, the most serious with the most intent. We should get plenty of conspiracy and tension, very much in the same spirit as what we saw with Captain America: Winter Soldier. So it will be severely disappointing if this series turns out to be just as low key in quality as what we've seen with the previous shows so far. We look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and overall it's what I believe will be the highest grossing movie of the phase. What we assume will be the final installment of the intergalactic space bounty hunters, who have already proven to be amongst the most popular characters within the universe with both of their previous installments. So this one I'm sure will provide a lot of satisfaction in terms of an overall trilogy conclusion. Hopefully will improve on the quality from the second film, which wasn't bad but was a bit bloated and overindulgent, and certainly with some hints at a far more emotional conclusion. Alongside the typical comedic spirit that's what we've seen before, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 definitely has the potential to be overall the best movie of the phase. We then look at Captain America New World Order, and this is a movie I'm not really sure about. There was already a lengthy debate about Sam Wilson taking a shield and mantle from Steve Rogers instead of defining himself as Falcon, which is what I believe should have happened. But will audiences still want to turn up for a Captain America movie where Captain America actually isn't in it? I'm really not so sure here. There is speculation about Harrison Ford's involvement. He was recently recast as General Ross, who we previously saw from the Incredible Hulk and Captain America Civil War films, and that his involvement may lead to us seeing the Red Hulk. And this is something that is also backed up with Tim Blake Nelson reprising his role as Samuel Stearns, again from the 2008 Hulk movie. And as we all know, Samuel Stearns goes on to be the leader one of the Hulk's main antagonists from the comic books. But it does raise the question, does having all of these other characters involved take away from the main Captain America story? Now, Sam Wilson did have a comic book run as Captain America, but as far as I can see, he didn't have really any standout iconic villains. So are they trying to fill that void by incorporating the Hulk within this movie? We all know at this current stage that Marvel still can't put out a standalone Hulk film, so they've had to incorporate many of the Hulk stories throughout their other movies. Prime example where we saw the World War Hulk be interpreted in Thor Ragnarok. And despite Falcon and the Winter Soldier being overall the best series within Phase 4, I'm really not sure that Sam Wilson is a strong enough character to carry an entire movie, hence the reason why they're throwing in all of these other characters. So we will wait and see how this film performs in early 2024, but right now it's not one that I'm particularly enthusiastic about. So we then take a look at the Marvels, and if there was a project that warranted a serious concern over being a failure, then it would be this. Despite the first Captain Marvel movie making over $1 billion in 2019, Carol Danvers hasn't connected with audiences the way that Marvel wanted her to. The online discourse over Brie Larson is well known and worn out by everybody by now, and the fact that this sequel includes Monica Rambeau and also Kamala Khan from the Miss Marvel series is perhaps proof that Marvel doesn't have as much confidence within the character. I'm also not convinced of what storyline that they can conjure up that can really compel audiences. Will it be more serious, or will it have far more of a comedic tone? Will the story be Earth-based, or will they try to spread it out much more into the cosmic universe? And how would they be able to balance this right screen time between all of these three characters? So there's so much question over this project right now, without having yet any semblance of the overall plot or who will overall be the main antagonist. But to be fair, things could work out the other way. Now, as we all know, many will want to grift on Brie Larson and her involvement, as that triggers very much the YouTube algorithm. We saw this with the emergence of Captain Marvel after her very controversial statements about a certain demographics, particularly the 40-year-old white men. And many content creators managed to build their channels successfully from this whole drama. So there may be a certain curiosity as to how the Marvels will perform, and unfortunately there will be a lot of hate watching as well. So again, Marvel may try to weaponize this in order to gain success for the film, but they will have to be careful not to indulge too much in the toxic discourse, as that will take away any focus from the overall quality of the movie. So when we're looking at all of the other Disney Plus shows, and admittedly, none of them really excite me overall, I really hope that Loki Season 2 is a major improvement over the first, which is one of the worst series of the entire phase. And I'm sure we'll delve far more into the multiverse when that show comes out, as we saw the origins of the multiverse at the season finale, as well as more involvement in terms of Kang the Conqueror, who we all know will be the main villain going ahead for the Avengers movies. And despite a very good lead performance from Tom Hiddleston in the lead role, I just hope this is far more of a stronger season, the second time round. I really don't understand why we're getting series for the likes of Echo and Agatha the Confidant of Chaos. Now this could be the same mistake as what we saw within Phase 4, when we're focusing on the less interesting characters just for the sake of content. And this is where Phase 5 could also run into major issues. They've also got some work to do in terms of Riri Williams and making her a much more likeable character. I wasn't a major fan of her involvement within Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and I don't think she seemed to cross over well with audiences when that movie is concerned. So hopefully when it comes to the Ironheart series, they will focus far more on making her a much more appealing personality. And then we look at the Thunderbolts, which is really the second attempt by Marvel at another big team up after the Eternals, featuring the likes of Yelena Believer from Black Widow, Bucky Winter Soldier, Red Guardian and Taskmaster. And this is a certain adaptation of the comic books team up with multiple changes to the roster, of course. And it seems that this is by design the street level team of the MCU, very much like the Suicide Squad but far more grounded. But we do ask, are these characters bringing enough of an interesting mix to the universe to compel audiences? And again, whether this movie succeeds or fails really will depend on the chemistry that is generated between all of the main characters. We then lastly talk about Blade, which has already hit major stumbling blocks in terms of its development, with a change over the director and issues over the script, and already concerns as to whether it will be as R-rated as the Wesley Snipes movies, of which the movie will ultimately draw comparisons to, especially the first two, which are absolute classics and one of the best examples of the entire comic book movie genre. Now the main plus for this project going forward is that they do have the double Oscar winning actor Mahershala Ali in the lead role. He was of course previously involved with the MCU with his role as Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage series, so no doubt about it, we will get at least a strong lead performance. But how far will they go in terms of the edge and the R-rated violence in terms of this movie, and how well will they be able to make it distinctive enough from the previous Blade films? I'm not so sure so far. So in terms of this film, I'm very undecided at this stage as to whether it will be a worthwhile addition to the overall phase. So there's my overall thoughts and feelings and review of Marvel's Phase 5 and whether it will somehow improve over the previous Phase 4. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which projects for you are you most excited about? Which projects do you feel have the strongest chance of completely failing at terms of the box office or low viewership on the Disney Plus platform? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, when all of the Phase 5 content releases, I will provide extensive coverage in terms of reviews and also analysis of how successful they do in terms of box office and viewership. So look out for all of that in the future. And if you have any other suggestions regarding any movies or television series or any other issues within entertainment and pop culture sphere that you'd like to see me cover, then also let me know within the comments and I will see if I can provide further coverage for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very, very soon.